Commodity TV here from the new Rohstoffmesse commodity conference here in Munich. It's German celebration day, but we are also here and want to do some good interviews, and we want to now dive directly into the uranium space. With us is here Keith Bodnarchuk, the CEO of Cosa Resources. Hi Keith, welcome to Munich.
Great to be here.
Good. So what are your feelings about the new show here? How's the crowd?
Yeah, so far so good. It seems like the crowd's flocking in here and a lot of good initial conversations, and looking forward to this 2-day conference.
Fine. So the last interview we did with you was in January, I believe, and since that time you had a lot of news out. And maybe start first with your Murphy Lake North project, joint venture project with Denison, I believe.
Yeah, correct. So we have had a lot of news flow since January. We completed a transaction with Denison Mines, whereby we acquired a 70% interest in 3 projects, one of those being the Murphy Lake North project. And in return, Denison became our largest and most strategic shareholder. They now own just under 20% of our company. Murphy Lake North is located right next to the Hurricane deposit, which is owned by ISO Energy. It's the highest grade uranium deposit in the world.
Which you discovered, is that right?
Exactly,
Yeah.
which our team discovered during our time at ISO Energy during 2018. So we're very familiar with that area. And so we closed that transaction with Denison in January, and then we started drilling. We drilled throughout the winter and the summer, and what we're seeing is early indicators of really positive drill results at the Murphy Lake North project. We left the drill on site. We'll go back there in January and begin drilling again, following up those initial results.
So you made some little discoveries, let's say it that way. What results did you achieve?
Yeah, so a good way to think about these things is the deposits in the Athabasca Basin are very high grade, but they are relatively small in size. For scale, the Hurricane deposit, which underpins ISO Energy's valuation, it's about 125 meters long. Phoenix deposit, which is Denison's main project, is about 200 meters long. And the way these things form is the uranium deposit itself is quite small, but there will be a massive alteration footprint around these deposits, which can be kilometers in scale. And so when you're drilling, you'll hopefully see some of these key pathfinders and key indicators, including an alteration halo, before you ultimately hopefully make the discovery. And what we're seeing at Murphy Lake North is key initial indicators of potentially being on to a deposit.
Sounds great. So your second flagship project, let's say it that way, is Darby.
Yeah.
What's happening there?
Yeah, so that was another project we acquired from Denison. That was a big one to get for us. It's located right next to Cigar Lake, which is one of the largest uranium mines in the world. It's huge. It's one where Denison just never got around to drilling it. But like I said, it's a long trend of the Cigar Lake deposit. It butts right up against Cameco's ground. We have fantastic drill targets there, so that'll be a priority for us next year also, is to drill Murphy Lake North and to drill Darby.
Okay. Then you made an option agreement for your Astro project with Global Uranium. What's going on there?
Yeah, so certainly. So we always take the approach of really looking to upgrade our pipeline of projects. We always take the approach of drill it and kill it. And when we did the acquisition with Denison, we also had a few other projects that we just weren't going to be able to explore ourselves. You know, we really like the projects, but we just need to bring in a partner, because our capital and our time is really going to be tied up advancing those Denison projects. And so Global did a transaction with us whereby they can acquire up to an 80% interest in Astro. We get to continue to work that project, and if ultimately they have success and make a discovery on that project, we will still remain part of it. And so, like I said, we just really always look to upgrade our pipeline of projects, and if we aren't going to be able to work something, we'll look at a different way of creating value with it.
Okay. So you have, I believe, around 200,000 hectares in the Athabasca Basin. 3 other projects that I saw you have news out was Cosmo, Ursa, and Orion.
Yeah.
What are there? What's going on there?
And so we always take that approach, like I said in the previous question, of drill it and kill it. And we really like to build that pipeline of drill targets. At ISO, during our time there, we always get a pat on the back because we discovered the Hurricane deposit with the very first drill hole on that Laroque East project. But we got to remember too, it was our 7th project. And so we always like to maintain that pipeline of drill targets, and we'll always continue to advance our other projects so that they are also drill ready in case Murphy Lake North doesn't pan out, or in case Darby doesn't pan out. We have those next level of targets ready to go until we ultimately make a discovery.
Okay, so what can we then await from Cosa Resources within the next 12 months after the winter?
Yeah, so January we'll be drilling again. We'll be drilling as much as we can. Our dollars are going towards into the ground here. We have really good projects with Darby and Murphy Lake North. Those are our priorities. Advancing those joint ventures with Denison and just drilling as much as we can, because that's his biggest catalyst for a company like us is just drill, drill, drill. And so that'll be our focus over the next 6 to 12 months.
Drilling means results, but it means also high costs. What's money in the bank?
Yeah, so we're sitting about 3.5 million Canadian. For perspective, we just completed our largest drill program to date at Murphy Lake North, and that cost us around 1.3 million Canadian. And so, we're in good shape that way. We have very cost-effective. Drilling is expensive, but we do have very cost-effective projects. Murphy Lake North, the depth down to the target is about 250 meters. For perspective, McArthur River, Cigar Lake, those are over 400 meters deep. And so we do have cost-effective projects that really, as cheap as exploration as you can. And like I said, we're fully funded for our upcoming drill programs.
Let's come to the uranium sector. So the spot price looks a little bit like it would like to go to $80 per pound. What's your feeling about the uranium sector at the moment?
Yeah, you know what? It feels like we're just at the start of what's going to be a long-term uranium bull market. You have seen the spot price. It kind of trickled back down to the high 60s a few months ago, but now it's back up above 80. Importantly, during that whole time, the long-term uranium price stayed above $80. And so what that tells you is that the sentiment in the sector is strong, and that's almost creating a new floor price with that $80 per pound. And you're seeing the spot price, start to go up and hopefully continue to go up here over the next few months. But there's so many catalysts. We're in the strongest uranium market that I've ever seen in my career. And so I think we're just in early innings of what's going to be a long-term uranium bull market.
Sounds great to me.
Awesome.
So all the best for the drilling for next year. And keep all fingers crossed that we see some very amazing results from you.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that was Keith Bodnarchuk, the CEO of Cosa Resources. You heard it. Many drill results to come next year. Every dollar goes into the ground. And I would say check out the company. And bye-bye from Rohstoffmesse Munich.